Snark said a gator drove a jeep through the blinds. Florida man's at it again with fireworks and a goat. And someone married a ghost in a Dollar Tree coat. Hey, what in the Walmart rapture is going on? Aliens dancing in a Waffle House song. Karen's got a taser in the checkout line. And Dr. Oz just adopted birds to fight off crime. Scrolling my jaw on the floor. The internet's a circus and I can't take no more. Yeah. When it's wildin', there's a raccoon in the sink. Someone robbed a Wendy's just to steal a frosty drink. A pastor's gone viral yelling about the end is near, while folks ride hoverboards in wedding gear. Yeah, what in the Walmart rapture is this mess? Florida's a movie, but it's filmed in VHS. Someone fed meth to a squirrel named Dave, and now he's in a cage just throwing rave.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Mornings with Mo. I've got a lot of headlines, and basically it's becoming a every morning, routine where I say, basically a lot of these stories are going to be what in the Walmart rapture? Well, a lot of them are. I could honestly just do an entire stream of, well, what in the hell is going on here? But there are some headlines and some updates to stories that I think you guys will be interested in. Top of those is that the case that I brought you yesterday of the missing football coach, and I didn't want to go into the speculation on what he might have been running from. Not exactly. While it is not rainy here yet, we're supposed to be getting like storm systems all through the next couple of days. So Hagatha is not a fan of the cold, although she fails to remember that we live in Indiana and there are 4 seasons. So now it does look like he was in fact dodging allegations of the things that I wasn't even going to name yesterday, because those allegations can be so detrimental to someone's life until there was actual, evidence or reporting about it. But it does look like child grossness may play a pivotal part in this Travis Turner case. Well, he was revered as a small-town football scion, twice named the Coach of the Year, and expected to shepherd his undefeated varsity squad through a crucial playoff game on Saturday. But now he is actually the fugitive at the center of a frantic manhunt, wanted on child grossness and solicitation of a minor charge. Now, this stunning case has upended the quintessentially all-American, facade of Travis Turner after he bolted from his home in rural Appalachia, Virginia last week as police closed in to discuss disturbing allegations against him. So it does look like he was running away from very serious and very, life-destroying allegations. So, I don't know as always, he is innocent until he has been adjudicated guilty. But I will say, in my experience, at least with the child grossness material that comes from computers, they don't generally charge those unless they have all the evidence to get your behind. Now, the 46-year-old dad of 3 has spent more than a decade coaching at Union High School in Big Stone Gap, a rural Friday Night Lights-esque community where, football is hot, and it sent several players to go on to the NFL. Now, Turner joined the team in 2011 and has led his players to numerous victories and championships since, earning himself a reputation as a cool-headed leader adept at inspiring the best from his players along the way. Now, he was named Coach of the Year by the Herald Courier in 2021, with a glowing profile describing him as emotionless and unflappable leader with laser-like focus and a community where football is king. Now, the coach also spent his life at the center of the community's rich football scene. His own father was a local football star in his own high school days and went on to become an award winning coach in the same community. So, this seems to be a family dynasty of footballness. Now, Turner even starred on his father's football team, playing as a quarterback from 1994, going on to play at 3 universities in the South. So that all came crashing down Thursday night when cops arrived at Turner's home near the end of a cul-de-sac in a tiny town of about 1,200 people to talk about some serious criminal allegations against them. Now, they insisted that they were not there to arrest him at that time. Now, Turner had been told that they were en route, is nowhere to be found now. Now, he has not been heard from since, prompting investigators to launch a multi-agency manhunt involving drones, state police aviation, and canines. Now, on Thursday, Virginia State Police revealed that they had issued a warrant for the dad's arrest on 5 counts of possession of child grossness and 5 counts of using a computer to solicit a minor. Now, police said that additional charges are pending, and Turner, as of right now, is considered a fugitive. Now, Union High, which has 600 students enrolled, has not made a statement other than vaguely alluding to the fact that an employee within the district had been placed on administrative leave. Now, neither the cops nor the school system would verify that Turner was actually this person. Now, Turner's wife of 25-year Leslie, whose Facebook page was filled or is filled, I don't know, I don't have her Facebook, y'all, with pictures of her husband and son, denied the allegations of child grossness, telling the Daily Mail that none of that is true. He's a good dad, a good husband, and we want him home. That's it, Leslie added, who donned a coach's wife tank top alongside her husband in one of her Facebook posts. Now, on Friday, she did post and delete a message that said, "I just want to get on here for a second to clear something up. As of right now, 10:25 p.m. on Friday night, Travis is missing, and that's all we know." Now, 5 days before he vanished, Turner seemed upbeat, with hardly a clue that he might have been battling any child grossness proclivities or planning to run away. So, again, I will keep you guys updated on what happens in this case. But, you know, if we want to have a real kind of conversation about predators, we need to start looking at our schools too. I know the ubiquitous kind of cultural joke is the Catholic Church, but you know, not everyone's a Catholic, but a lot of people send their kids to public schools. And I keep covering, you know, male and female teachers that seem to think that, you know, our children, these public schools are their own personal, you know, degenerate petting zoos. So if we want to get serious about protecting kids, maybe we need to start looking at our school systems. Well, God save Tara Reid, because I need Sharknado 25. Now, Tara Reid, blast from the past. We didn't know that, y'all, honestly, I didn't know she was still alive. And I don't mean I don't mean any disrespect, but I honestly didn't know Tara Reid was still alive. So it does look like she is unable to stand up and even control her body. That being said, Tara Reid's looked kind of rough for many years. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I just mean that observationally. I wouldn't be able to really tell if she was having a bad day or just looking the same way she always does. Kind of rough and out of it. And she used to be so cute. I wish she would take care of herself and get whatever problem she's dealing with out, or, you know, taken care of. And if she was truly drugged, I hope they find the person that did that. No one deserves to be drugged against their will. Now, Tara Reid is claiming that she was drugged at a Chicago hotel bar after video surfaced of her being taken out on in a wheelchair slash stretcher Sunday morning. Now, in the video obtained by TMZ, a group of people can be seen attempting to place the nearly, well, unstable, unconscious American Pie actress into a wheelchair. Now, she looked very unsteady, but she looked more drunk to me than. Look, I am not a connoisseur of how people look when on every not street legal pharmaceutical. Come on, you guys, the Sharknado star said as the men tried to get her into the, wheelchair, and she kind of mumbled incoherently. Several people did have to help her. Like I said, if she was truly drugged, I hope they found the person that did it. If she's struggling with something else, I hope she gets the help that she needs. Now, a rep for Reed alleged in page 6 in a statement that Miss Reed has filed a police report after the incident in which she believes that her drink was tampered with, and she fully intends to cooperate with the investigation. Now, according to her rep, she is recovering and asking for privacy and urges everyone to, pay attention to their drinks when they are out, and says that she won't be making any further comments at this stage. So I will try to keep you updated. Now, what I will say is that, like I said, I can't tell this Tara Reid versus this Tara Reid all that much. That being said, I still am waiting for Sharknado, the Sharknadoing, the experience in 3D and IMAX. In a sad news, but on Mornings with Mo, I definitely try to bring out the stories with people that deserve absolute recognition for the everyday heroes who sacrifice for other people. There's so much terrible news out there that, even though this is a heartbreaking headline, especially around these holiday times, the sacrifice and two children that are going to have a Christmas this year, this sailor deserves recognition. A Florida sailor stationed in Hawaii passed away after heroically rescuing two children in Wanapua Bay. Master-at-Arms First Class Jeffrey Diaz, 47, of Florida, passed away Saturday, according to a news release from Kauau's police department. Now, Diaz, who was stationed at the Pacific Missile Range facility in Barking Sands, jumped into the water to rescue two children who were struggling in the high surf. Now, while the children were able to make it back to shore safely, police said Diaz encountered trouble in the water. Now, personnel with Ocean Safety Bureau and Barking Sands Fire and Emergency Service Department were later able to pull Diaz from the water and tried to perform life-saving efforts. He was flown or taken to the Veterans Memorial Hospital, where unfortunately he passed away. We're heartbroken by the passing of our shipmate and friend. Let's see. I want to Master-at-Arms First Class Jeffrey Diaz and extend our sincerest condolences to the family, friends, and shipmates who are grieving. Captain Robert Prince, commanding officer of the Pacific Missile Range facility, wrote in a statement, "We're grateful to emergency responders, sailors, and their family members who provided immediate assistance, and we remain committed to supporting his family and friends and those affected as we navigate this difficult time together." Now, an autopsy is going to be performed to determine the cause of death. Obviously, foul play is not suspected, but there might need to be more investigation to see if it was a rip tide or something like that, or there was any, cardiac or pulmonary issue that may have triggered something that caused him to have a difficult time getting back to shore. That being said, What an act of heroism. I mean, going into rough water, seeing two kids, not thinking about yourself. And right around the holidays, I hope his family and friends are getting all the support and love they need, and that those families that got their children back are giving them an extra hard squeeze this holiday season. Well, in another sad headline, John Ellman, child actor in Leave It to Beaver and Twilight Zone, has passed away. John Emmon, former child actor who starred in Leave It to Beaver and Twilight Zone, along with McKeever and the Colonel, has passed away. Now, he did pass of prostate cancer and is home in Makita, Washington. He had learned about his cancer diagnosis in September. He was born in 1949 in Chicago, and his family moved to Los Angeles when he was a child. He was discovered by a talent agent who just happened to visit his first grade classroom. She often came to the school, and she and my teacher often went out after school for dinner or something, he recalled on the Jeff Dwoskin show in 2020. She saw me at school, and at the time I had ridiculously bright red hair and freckles, a really real all-American boy type kid, 6 years old, and she asked my teacher if maybe she could contact my parents and see about representing me. My parents were all for it, actually, he continued. My mom's kind of that way. She's always been a bit starstruck, and she was glad to go along with it, as well as my dad. Now, after appearing as an extra in his first TV roles, he landed a part in Leave It to Beaver as one of Theodore Beaver Cleaver's classmates, starring with the show's pilot episode that aired in 1957. Now, throughout the 1960s, he appeared in episodes of The Twilight Zone, The Comedy Spot, McKeever and the Colonel, and The Lloyd Bridges Show, along with Wendy and Me and Petticoat Junction. So, it does seem like we're losing a lot of our people. I can't say that I was a big Leave It to Beaver fan, so this is not an actor I'm generally familiar with. But he does look like a super-duper cute kid when he was younger, and I do hope that, he was able to pass surrounded by family and in peace and comfort, and that his family is getting all the support they need because, again, right by the holidays, this is not an easy time to lose anyone. In a bit of a palate cleanser news, but a happy ending story. Rescuers were able to find a grandmother and her 3 grandchildren who had gone missing on a hike in South Carolina. This grandma must obviously have directional capabilities like me. Rescuers on Tuesday were able to find a grandmother and 3 grandchildren who were reported the prior evening to be lost while hiking in South Carolina's state park, prompting a massive search with drones, helicopters, off-road vehicles, and dogs. Now, the Greenville County Sheriff's Office said that the 4 had parked a vehicle near one trailhead at Caesars Head State Park in Cleveland, but they were actually discovered on a different trailhead altogether. Now, a helicopter did evacuate them from the rough terrain that had been slickened by rain in the area, Greenfield County Sheriff Hobart Lewis said. Now, the hikers had no injuries and were reunited with their families. Emergency responders did assess their health and kind of gave them a clean bill of health. Everything has gone fine, and everyone should have made their reunion up there, Lewis told reporters on Tuesday. Now, a boy called 911 on Monday evening saying he and 3 family members had been lost for about 3 hours in the area of the state park. Now, the sheriff's office identified the hikers, not the hawkers, that's a whole different stream, as Tonda Michelin, 53, Melody Bangs, 14, Michael Lawton, 11, and David Moser, 9. Now, authorities haven't said whether they lived locally or had traveled to the park. During the 911 call, the child said that his phone's battery was almost run out, but they were able to stay on the phone for about 10 to 12 minutes, and the boy was coherent and knew what was going on. We'll talk to the grandmother and children and figure out what they might have done, to get lost. Now, the search began on Monday, and at least 50 people from over half a dozen agencies, including the National Guard, were rallied to search. Now, the hikers had parked near that Raven Cliffs Fall Trail, which is just about a 4-mile round trip, if you stay on the track. Now, all Caesar's Head's trails are rated as advanced, and they are in a wilderness setting according to the website. So these were not your easy kind of paved, handy-capable, like mow level trails. These are going to be a little bit more advanced. So yeah, I am glad that they were found. I'm glad no one was hurt and everyone gets to go home. But this is why people shouldn't take me out hiking as well. Well, in continued updates on the Morgan Geyser escape, it looks like she might have escaped due to fears that she was not going to be allowed to have a certain friend or friendship at the community home. I still think you need to go directly back to jail, but of all the things, they weren't going to let us be friends. Maybe because Morgan's a terrible influence? Now, the friend accused of helping Morgan Geyser to flee the group home facility claims that she is in fact the reason that Geyser, chose to escape. Now, she was taken into custody on Sunday, just a day after she escaped from that group home in Madison, Wisconsin. Now, police said that Geyser had cut off her bracelet, monitoring one, before fleeing, and was last seen with an adult acquaintance. Now, Morgan is also an adult at 22, so I don't know why we're making the distinction that this is an adult acquaintance. This woman should be nowhere near children. Now, WKOW reported that the alleged acquaintance, Charlie Mecca, 34, called into the station and provided an account of what happened. She ran because of me, Mecca told the station, saying that the two took public transportation all the way to Cook County, Illinois. Now, Mecca and Geyser had become friends, according to the outlet, and the former said that Geyser was worried that the home would not let them continue that friendship. Now, all of the local outlets have reported that Geyser's acquaintance was charged with criminal trespassing and obstructing identification and was released from custody. So it does look like the, accessory to her, escape has been charged as well, though she is, out on bond pending, court hearings. So I will keep you updated on that case, but I think we can all safely say, look, we gave it a chance and, back to prison with you. Massachusetts. Were you built on top of an entire statewide pet cemetery? Is Derry, Illinois, or Derry, Maine, in fact, not Derry, Maine at all, but Derry, Massachusetts? Is Pennywise involved in your entire, civic structure? Well, hundreds of gallons of heating oil were pumped directly into a Massachusetts home after the company delivered that said heating oil to the wrong place. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. And I would be so tempted to light my house on fire if this happened. A Massachusetts family's basement was completely flooded with hundreds of gallons of heating oil in a disastrous mishap just days before they were scheduled to host Thanksgiving after a company had pumped a batch into the wrong house on Tuesday. Now, the oil company Fawcett Energy was supposed to make a delivery to a home on Linwood Street in Malden, Massachusetts, but instead showed up to a home on Linwood Street in Medford, Massachusetts, which is roughly 10 miles away. Now, the Medford home was equipped with a pipe to push oil into a tank in the basement, except there was no longer a tank in the basement. Homeowner Dan Nguyen, look, I never know how to pronounce this, and I know it's a very ubiquitous name, but I have no idea how to pronounce it. I always forget. So it's Nguyen or Nguyen. Look, I don't know. said that the oil tank had been removed 5 years ago. Now, his wife and brother-in-law were at the home on Tuesday, and they started to notice a foul odor spreading through the house. They went outside to find the surprise delivery person pumping oil into the pipe and directly into their basement. Roughly 385 gallons were pumped into the basement, according to Medford Fire Department Deputy Chief Nicholas Davis. Now, normally when you're filling up an oil tank, once it starts to get full, you'll hear a whistle and that tells the driver to shut down the oil. But there was no whistle because there was no tank. Now, despite the catastrophe, the homeowner was understanding even after his home had to be evacuated because of the fumes. No, Mo has no understanding in her heart. Not when she was already stressed, having, have all her relatives come over for Thanksgiving, do that hysterical, flop sweat cleaning that you do before people come over. And then the first thing that you tell them when they come in, excuse the house, it's a mess. I'm like, no, I sweated my boobs off to clean this house. But he's apparently much more chillaxed than I am. He's like, you know what? Someone made a mistake. Sometimes they put in the wrong address. No, Mo has all the not chill. Now, the home isn't safe to live in for the foreseeable future, which will put a snag on the family's Thanksgiving plans. I'm going to call tomorrow and cancel. Now, his brother, Tien, told Boston's 10 Boston that everything was messed up in the basement and they didn't know how long it would be until they could return. For now, they'll be living in a relative's home with belongings that they were able to salvage from other levels of their home. Now, there were 6 residents in the home that are also receiving assistance from the Red Cross in order to, find a place to live for right now. Now, the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection and the building inspector are investigating the incident and probably giving them ways that they will have to remediate this, spill and flood before it can be safe to live in. Now, it is unclear how long the repair could take, and Fawcett Energy has not made any statements to the public. Probably like, no, we're not going to talk to the public because we'd have to take responsibility. Well, good to see you, Tammy, too. Well, we have an extended What in the Walmart Rapture Final Form Jesus load of stories for you guys. Just for Thanksgiving Day Eve, I didn't want to pull any more of the gross dumpster human behavior, so we've got a lot of What in the Walmart Rapture. So buckle in, because it's going to get crazy in here.
The tea caked its grove, thou glowing shrine of thirst traps, scams, and dollar signs. We chant in tones both grim and low, for virtue fled a long time ago. Kyrie eleison, Christe descendat, final form Jesus return in wrath. With 6-pack listening, sword in hand, he cometh swift to cleanse the land.
Now, I don't know how one's quads explode. I mean, I have done Bulgarian split squats and your quads feel like they're gonna explode. In fact, I'm definitely more quad dominant than hamstring dominant, so I have to really focus on that when I'm doing squats. I actually have a tank top that says quad damn, to be honest. I need to wear that one day. Well, apparently Guy Fieri's quads exploded. Did he go, did he say, that's fire, or whatever Guy said? I wanted to say bam, but I think that's Emerald. Shows how much I watch the Food Network anymore. Well, Guy Fieri was rushed to the emergency room and into surgery after missing a set of steps and tearing his quad muscle in half. Ow, I'm in constant pain and that makes me want to cringe. Now, according to him, I slipped down a set of steps. One foot went forward and the other foot got caught on the threshold. So, I ended up extending out and looked like I was probably doing the splits. But when my right leg compressed itself at the giveaway point, the doctor said he's never seen it in 20 years. But basically, it was a tear in the biggest, thickest part of the quad. So, yeah, it sucked. Now, he explained that he was rushed into surgery after the fall to make sure that his muscles didn't recede. So basically, your muscles are at a tight tension. And if you cut that, it's like a rubber band snapping. So they need to get back in there so it doesn't completely snap. Because normally, intentionally, your body's supposed to tear at the tendons. It's really, really odd to have a mid muscle belly tear. So that was, needed to happen. So his quad muscle just kind of exploded. So as much as I joke about, and he's maybe not my cup of tea, if you ask, of all the cooking shows, I do hope that he has a swift recovery. Not being able to be as mobile as you want to be is no easy thing to deal with, and you don't get it until you get it. So I wish him a speedy recovery and, go back to bamming or firing or frosting your tips or whatever he does. Self-tanning, it looks like. You know, I am here. I just don't watch your shows, sir. Well, I mean, it was a happy, sad moment for one biologist who bawled their eyes out upon finding the world's rarest flower after searching for 13 years. Well, May flowers bring November showers for this intrepid biologist. A flower hunter was moved to tears after encountering a super rare species of bloom in Sumatra, Indonesia, marking the culmination of an over a decade-long plant pilgrimage. Now, the moving moment was captured in Instagram. Moments like this are electric, said Dr. Chris Thurgood, an associate professor of biology at Oxford University, who was on the expedition. The trek was tough and the flower was so special that we were all quite emotional about it. Now, the species in question is the Raffacelia hasseleti. And thank you so much, MLS. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving too. We are having ribs and steaks because the last couple years, turkey has just gone to waste in our house. No, frosting your tips, but hey, however you celebrate Thanksgiving, I mean, yeah. So we kind of made an executive decision, but we're also having I'm gonna mispronounce it. Mi fung noodles and shrimp. It's the youngest, most feral's favorite dish. So I kind of, being a picky eater, how I do Thanksgiving with my kiddos is that I let them pick out either a side or a dish that they really like. And regardless of kind of whatever it is, I'll make it. So I did, so youngest, most feral's dish is the shrimp and noodles. Middle son's he wants cinnamon rolls. So we're having those for breakfast because the oven is going to be kind of full. Then oldest son, he's like, I just want mashed potatoes and gravy. So I was like, hey, easy, got you covered. And my oldest girls are like, I just want green bean casserole. I just want the sides. And so we were like, okay, hey, I can do this. It's not my jam. I'm not going to cry about a flower. Is this the one that smells like rotting plants or rotting people? Okay, it's a species of giant parasitic red flower that's been seen more by tigers than people, according to the scientist. Now, according to the Post, Thurgood and his team had trekked by day and night through tiger-patrolled Sumatran rainforest to find this botanical holy grail. Now, in the clip, a fellow team member and Indonesian flower hunter, Septem Deki Andornikthat, is seen on his knees sobbing with joy over the rare find as Thurgood comforts him, and then it cuts to the colossal white speckled blossom unfurling its behemoth petals like something out of Little Shop of Horrors. I'm the luckiest guy alive, chimed in Thurgood. So there you go. I mean, like I said, it's not my jam. I'm not going to be super de-duper. You know, I don't, but if I ran across, like a secret treasure trove of Sailor Moon stuff in my local forest, I'd be super stoked too. So look, I cannot speak Sumatran. I know you're going to be shocked, but Sumatran is not even one of the 3 languages I pretend to know, including English. Well, I mean, I'm gonna need one of chat to step up and double check that I'm dead before they bury me, okay? Because new life fear, new terror, engaged. But lucky for this woman, they checked. A Thai woman miraculously was found alive in her coffin right before she was set to be cremated. Again, I will find an executive ad or a guardian ad dedum. I'm gonna give one of y'all a pin to stick my behind to make sure I am all the way fully dead before y'all try to bury me, okay? A woman in Thailand shocked temple staff when she started moving in her coffin after being brought in for cremation. Oh, good Lord, this is... Okay, y'all, bear with me. Look, I'm going to say this exactly how I'm sounding it out, but it's probably going to come out a hate crime. Wat Rat Prakong Tham, a Buddhist temple in the province of Nonthaburi on the outskirts of Bangkok, was posting a video on its Facebook page showing a woman lying in a white coffin in the back of a pickup truck, slightly moving, leaving temple staff a bit bewildered. Priyat Sturap, the temple's general and financial affairs manager, told the Associated Press on Monday that the 65-year-old woman's brother drove her from a province to be cremated. Now, he said that they heard faint knocking coming from within the coffin. Again, new terror, like new reason to never go outside again, unlocked. I was a bit surprised, so I asked them to open the coffin, and everyone was startled. I saw her opening her eyes and knocking on the side of the coffin. She must have been knocking for quite a while. Okay. Now, according to Priyat, the brother said his sister had been bedridden for about 2 years, and when her health deteriorated and she became unresponsive, and she did appear to stop breathing, according to him, before they put her in the casket. So it's not like they gave her 10 minutes. Apparently, they gave her 2 to 3 days. Now, after 2 days of thinking she was passed, the brother placed her in a coffin and made the 300-mile journey to a hospital in Bangkok, to which the woman had previously expressed the wish to donate her organs. Now, the hospital refused to accept the brother's offer of her body as he didn't have an official death certificate. It's almost like the hospital could have figured out she was still alive, but there you go. Now, his temple did offer free cremation service, which is why the brother approached them on Sunday, but was also refused due to missing the official death document. Now, the temple manager said that while he was explaining how to get a death certificate, they heard the knocking. Okay. Well, basically, thankfully, the temple staff assessed her and got her to a nearby hospital, and an abbot of the temple said that they would be covering her medical expenses. So that's good. I'm just saying, one of you is going to poke me with a stick before they try to cremate me, okay? That's just all there is to... Oh my God. Okay, the Matrix is broken. Y'all, I didn't even see this. This is a new headline. I have I don't even, let me figure out how I'm going to read this. A politician named A.H., and not Amber Heard, although she's almost just as despicable, but that Austrian painter is apparently running for election in a southern African country. Because that's just what this century needs. I mean, its own Austrian painter taking over a country. Well, a politician named, I mean, they're spitting images of each other. Okay, Netflix, are you doing a remake? Who turned off the Matrix and turned it back on? First, we've got the ShamWow guy running for Congress, and now the family resemblance. Y'all, I have no words. Again, I blame CERN. I think they broke the timeline, or those two chicks from Wicked that are always like touching each other. They just, made a nexus, a black hole of weird and stupid, and it sucked our timeline in, and we are in an alternate dimension of cringelarity. This is the only way I function. I mean, what am I supposed to do with this headline? What? Well, Mr. Now, those are his first and middle names. His last name is Ananda, which must be, really, really early Austrian. Now, a politician with that, famous or infamous moniker is set to win a local election in his home country, but claimed that his father had no idea who, he named his child after when he named his son. Now, this man is posed to win a second local election in the southwest African country of Namibia on November 26th, holding his seat in the north of the country after previously receiving 85% of the vote in 2020. You guys, we now live in a world where officially, currently, in one country, Mr. Hankety Clankety is more popular than Congress. I can't, y'all. This is the... Now, he is a member of the left-wing Swapo Party and previously spoke about his infamous name after coming to global attention following his win in the Umpangia constituency. His father probably didn't understand, who AH actually was. As a child, I saw it as totally normal to be named, Kittler, if you will. Only as I grew up did I understand that this man wanted to conquer the whole world, and I want to have nothing to do with those things. Now, his wife calls him Adolf, but in public, he normally omits the, last name, his middle name. Despite that, he insists that he'll never change his name. It's all in all of my official documents. It's kind of too late. Now, as a former German colony, Namibia still has a lot of Germanic place names, and traditional names such as Adolf are not uncommon. Now, in 2020, a car was spotted at his home region of Oshana with the name AH accompanied by a swastika on a rear window. I never thought the Fourth Reich would happen in Namibia, but if you happen to have forewarning of this, what timeline are we in? Wait, I have no idea. I don't know. I just, y'all, what, where, why? Well, or dude looks like a lady looks like a dude. Well, when you boil it all down, dude to begin with. Apparently, the world's strongest woman winner was stripped of her title after organizers discovered she was born with a schmeckle. The controversial of the world's strongest woman competition has been stripped of her title Jamie Brooker was disqualified just days after she destroyed the competition at the official Strongman World Championship in Arlington, Texas over the weekend. Now, organizers said that Booker from Philadelphia violated the contest rules, which clearly stipulate that athletes must compete in the category that aligns with their biological sex at birth. Sad thing is, I have seen women who are naturally built like her. So, or this person, look, I can barely do grammar to begin with. Now I've got to figure out which right pronoun I'm supposed to use so I don't offend nobody. It did too much damn work. It appears that the athlete is a biological male who now identifies as female and competed in the women's open category, organizers said in a social media statement announcing the decision. Now, official strongman officials were unaware of this fact ahead of the competition, and we have been investigating since informed. Had we been aware or had this been declared at any point before the competition, this athlete would not have been permitted to compete in the women's open category. Now, the move comes after runner-up UK lifter Andrea Thompson was filmed storming off the podium as she raged about the bullshit decision to award the title to Booker. Now, Thompson is the winner, which many online supporters had been calling her all along. Organizers said that the places will now be altered accordingly in the wake of Booker's disqualification. We are clear competitors can only compete in the category for the biological sex recorded at birth. Official Strongman is inclusive and is proud to run events which do not discriminate against athletes based on personal characteristics. Any athlete is welcome, but it is our responsibility to ensure fairness and ensure that athletes are assigned to men or women's categories based on whether they were recorded as male or female at birth. Now, three-time champ Rebecca Roberts led the backlash, quickly claiming that no one was aware of Booker's gender at birth. Transgender women, people born male, should not be competing in the women's category, she said in a statement prior to Booker being stripped of the title. What happened this weekend wasn't transparent. None of us knew, not even the organizers knew, and the fairness was taken by surprise. Trust in the sport has begun to crack. My message is simple. Trans people belong in sports, but women's divisions must remain biologically born females only. Now, Booker, meanwhile, has not publicly addressed her disqualification, and organizers said that attempts to reach her have failed. Possibly because you cheated, because, yes, you went through a male puberty. You were exposed to male hormones in utero. You are going to be stronger. And in strength-based competitions, they absolutely have to be gender-based. Me as a female I can be in the same weight category as a male. I'm not going to ever be able to lift as much as a male, not because I'm not strong, not because I'm not badass, but because that's just how our bodies work. You know, on my personal record is Mr. Mo's warm up, for certain things. So yeah, no crap. Now, I'm going to tell you, if anyone does this in the chat, come up to the front of the congregation. We need to have chats. Don't do this. Just don't do this. This is why are we? No, this is gross, disgusting. I don't care if you never have wrinkles a day in your life ever again. Don't do this. Now, forget cramps and cranky moods along with the, obligatory craving for chocolate. Now, apparently, your period can mean acquiring a crazy glow on your face. And yes, it's going there, you guys. This is why aliens won't appear. This is why the rapture is near. This is why I am slowly losing the will to fight the insanity. That's it. That is, if you're willing to participate in, DIY care using your own Aunt Flo. Y'all, this is not, every day I wake up and I'm like, am I getting news from the New York Post or the Onion? or the seventh circle of hell, because no, none of this is right. If anyone asks you this, this is a sign that they're in a cult. You walk away slowly and you have your taser ready. Cuz any woman asks you this, you walk away. I'm a woman and a woman asks me this. Have you tried menstrual masking? Be like, have you tried 5150? Have you tried this hug jacket? And I say this as a person who does arts and crafts, okay? And cross stitch, okay? No. Just no. All right. Well, humanity is done. And this is why I'm praying that this headline is correct. A religious leader is promising us that soon it will all end. The glorious peace and, release from stupidity will end according to a religious leader. And maybe 67th time correct. Well, a comet has been predicted to strike the Earth by the end of the year on what a controversial religious leader called the last day of the Earth. Well, thank God. A doomsday warning has come from the writings of Raz Ahmed Gohar Shahan, a Pakistani spiritual leader and mystic who claims that God was sending a comet to collide with Earth because humanity had strayed too far from spiritual truths. I mean, he did promise no flood, but he didn't say anything about comets. He founded several organizations to spread his teaching of divine love, including spiritual movements from Anjam, Sefer-Oshan-e-Islam, and the Messiah Foundation International. Now, the prophecy recorded in Gahar Shahdi, 2000 book, The Religion of God, states that a comet has been sent toward Earth for total destruction. The comet is expected to fall to Earth in the next 20 to 25 years, and that will be the last day of the world. Now, according to his followers in the Messiah Foundation International, the comet would unleash massive earthquakes, tsunamis, and widespread societal collapse. Have they seen the current headlines? I mean, the only thing we don't have is earthquakes and tsunamis. Now, this celestial judgment, the followers claim, stems from humanity's moral decay, including endless wars fueled by nuclear weapons and relentless destruction of one another over minor differences. Now, despite the warning, NASA and other space agencies have not announced any objects that are currently heading to relieve our suffering. Now, several comets and asteroids, including the infamous space rock Apophis, have recently been removed from NASA's list of objects that have a slim chance of striking the planet. However, none were projected to reach the Earth anytime soon. Now Gohar Shahani mysteriously disappeared just 1 year after the book's release while in London in September 2001. However, his followers continue to maintain that the spiritual leader, who would have been 84 today, is alive and just playing, the longest hide and seek along with Bigfoot with the world. Now, over 2 decades ago, Sahadi added signs that the Doomsday Comet had already been seen in the solar system, with part of the space rock allegedly striking Jupiter. A fragment of the comet had already fallen on Jupiter 2 years ago, and scientists are aware of this. They plan to settle on the moon or another planet before the comet falls, he said in his book. Now, despite his detailed account of the comet's path, the only significant collision to take place at Jupiter before the book's publication occurred in 1994, what was known as the, Shoemaker-Levy comet that, crashed into Jupiter. So I'm not saying that we want to pin all our hopes on one asteroid, but it's good to have several asteroids in our basket. So there still is A1 ATLAS that, is traveling through our solar system and having all sorts of light shifts. So, fingers crossed, you guys. We might experience, peace and lack of chaos. Alrighty, you guys, for our cursed clips part of the show. Now, I don't generally watch these before, and I haven't started that today, so let's see what Gospel Duck and Friends is. I cannot wait. Okay, why is Gospel Duck in the bathtub? I feel like this is going to be an OnlyFans, but we're supposed to learn about Jesus. The Rappin' Rhino.
I love to be a duck for Jesus. I love to be a duck for the Lord. I want to be what He wants me to be, living in the light of His word. Oh, it took a lot of time to make me.
I love Daisy Duck. I love that it is 25 to 35% different enough to not get a copyright strike. It does look like Bad Duck. I keep waiting for, the duck to make like a really off-collar joke.
He loves me just the way that I am. I love to be a duck for Jesus. Cause Jesus is my friend. I used to want to be an eagle. I'd fly way up and
Okay, if you can't enunciate in the duck voice, then it's hard to understand because even the closed captions are like, that's not what you said. The captions are like, we have no idea.
this time. I used to look at my web feet. I'd hang my head and cry. Boo-hoo, I'm so ugly. Hey Lord, how about a flamingo? Yeah, this
I am still so confused. I mean, look, this would probably terrify me as a child rather than get me to go to church. But
so beautiful and tall. Then Jesus lifted me into his arms and said, Ducky, you're beautiful just the way I made you. And I don't make mistakes. Hallelujah.
aw, affirmation and self-love by a puppet. A very creepy, very scary duck puppet. Yeah, that's what happened at the end of Howard the Duck. That's why they didn't make a second one.
Now I love to be a duck for Jesus. I love to be a turkey for the Lord. I want to be what He wants me to be, living in the light of His word. Oh, it took a long time to make me.
I'm just imagining the hikers who are going through seeing a guy crouched with his hand up a duck puppet singing I Want to Be a Duck for Jesus while they're in the, national park. Because that would be a funnier video. We do need to clip this and send it to Bad Duck. Okay, I want to get to the rapping rhino. I understand you're a duck for Jesus. I want to get to... Oh no, they have the start of the music video. I love that they have the little music video thing. No, I'm waiting for the rapping rhino. I was promised a rapping rhino. Oh my God, where do I get this? How do I find this puppet and make very culturally inappropriate skits? I need rapping rhino. If anyone happens to have this puppet, I need it for hilariously bad intentions. Everyone remember the Tootsie Roll.
Hello everybody and welcome to the zoo. This is Rodney the Rhino and I'm coming at you with some spiritual wisdom. So don't take a nap. It's time to groove on some righteous rap. Oh yeah.
Ooh, not just rap, but righteous rap. Ooh, we're gonna get schooled in Deuteronomy, you guys, like it's old school. And he's wearing high tops. That's it. I'm dead. And he has a beard. Are we sure that he's not, you know, rapping for another Abrahamic religion? Just asking for a friend. This is Mo level of editing skills. You guys, I'm going to zoom in and zoom out. It's going to be real professional. I have a zoom button.
Now the kids on the block will try to tell you what to do. They all think they got the answer for you. Pushing drugs and junk and alcohol. They're waiting around just to see you fall. But you stand up and say that ain't my thing, cause I'm...
Okay, you know what's hilariously ironic about this is that this would be really freaking funny if you were on a gummy. I mean, which would defeat the purpose of watching a Christian rap telling you to not be intoxicated with the devil's lettuce. But I just imagine that this is a whole hell of a lot funnier if you may or may not be on the Mary Jane train. I'm just saying.
To Jesus, he's the King of Kings. He died on the cross to forgive my sins. And on the third day, he rose again. He made a...
You know, there's nothing like crucifixion rap. I mean, you know, it's a really niche genre, but torture rap.
Fool of the devil and all of his crew. You hear what I'm saying? I'm talking to you. Oh, yeah!
That's it. This is definitely, I've converted. I accept the Lord as my savior. The sneakers did it.
Now when you give your heart to Jesus, it's a wonderful thing, because you become one with the King of Kings. Then the Holy Ghost will give you lots of power and might with great big angels on your left and right. See, Jesus is the way to be.
Audio coffee. I had to restart my computer. I have to make a whole new one and save it. That is why we're not doing it today.
You're really alive. Listen, everybody, this ain't no jive. I'm rapping about the only way to be free, to have divine health and prosperity. Jesus is the answer you've been looking for. I can hear him knocking. Won't you open up the door? Oh, yeah.
Open that door. Open that door. It may be ice or it could be Jesus or Jesus. You know, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know if you're going to open the door to ice or Jesus. I'm going straight to hell.
See, when you give it all to Jesus and is living in your heart, each and every day is a fresh new start, brand new mercy, brand new grace. It's so good to look on his face. Now,
I was going to say, it's so good, don't get it in your face. I am going straight to hell. Not on the face.
You really made the hippest choice, cause you're reading his word and you're hearing his voice. And now that you're saved, there's a plan for your life, cause you can lead other people into the light. You can worship and praise.
Oh my gosh, just apropos of nothing, go up to the local person in the Walmart and say, have you accepted the Lord into your life? And just start playing this video. I'm not saying I would do it, but hey, I wouldn't get people talking to me in Walmart anymore. You're welcome.
And never be still. As a matter of fact, I think I will. Oh, yeah.
You guys, all I'm seeing is that meme. You know that guy, he looks like he might be like wanting to eat a Baconator, and he kind of looks like Shaq, but he's cut from the tree and he looks like he's about ready to eat like a big old juicy steak. That's all I am seeing is that meme of that guy peeking around the tree like,
Yeah. You're the King of kings, you're the Lord of lords, you're the bright and morning star. You're the only begotten Son of God, you're the best of all by far. You're the love in my heart, you're the smile on my face.
Is it bad that I can't focus on this because the puppet is looking off to the side? It's crucifixion rap. It's how we're gonna get saved, Fallstorm. After showing the Anne Frank musical, I needed to bring back some Jeebus. So we're all getting our Christianity today.
You're the reason, Lord, I can sing. Glory, hallelujah, Lord, I owe it all to you. You're the Lord of everything.
That zoom button is getting a workout. He's reading the teleprompter.
You're the King of Kings, you're the Lord of Lords, you're the bright and morning star. You're the only begotten Son of God, you're the best of all by far. You're the love in my heart, you're the smile on my face, you're the reason, Lord, I can sing. Glory, hallelujah, Lord, I owe it all to you, you're the Lord of everything.
Volstorm, why am I hearing your voice do it? So I'm like, oh, good Lord, hallelujah. We need some biscuits and gravy. That's all I mean. Hi, expert.
Yeah.
They threw the damn puppet. I love it. And to go with this, you know, because we want to be inclusive, E.T. is the work of Satan. Let's see how we all didn't know that he was phoning home, but not to his planet, to the Dark Lord. Oh, crud.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Twin Cities Live from the Minnesota State Fair. I'm Bob Bruce.
How did he get Lego hair? That is the best Lego hair. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of the team. I want to go watch that movie now. But that is some awesome Lego. I mean, the amount of Aquanet, it wasn't just the ladies, it was the men. Look at that hair is not moving in a hurricane.
We've got a great crowd gathered here today on the fairgrounds, and we've got a very interesting subject. The little fellow that I've got in my hand here, most of you would recognize him as E.T. Today, we have really...
Show us on the E.T. where it hurt you. Was it when he was saying, Elliot, phone home, and he looked like he had a Make-A-Wish issue? Because that freaked me the hell out as a child. You know, that and the government, you know, breaking into a family's home, you know, stealing their liberty, you know, and then, you know, nearly killing their son because he managed to make friend with an extraterrestrial being. You know, all in all, that was the more scary bit of E.T. for me, but let's see how it hurt you, sir.
A couple of subjects, but the same theme. One is, does a little fellow like this have satanic effects on your child?
There are a number of occultic images.
Wait, this is the face that you want me to trust as to what I should show to my children? This face, this poster child for, you know, not within 500 feet of a school district? Yeah, this is the guy I'm going to go to for advice on what to do for children. Because it doesn't look like he has some in his basement, allegedly in Minecraft. Sure, let's go to this guy.
Is portrayed in E.T., and probably the thing that I most hold against it, I can't say on television, so I'm sorry.
Because he looks like a scrotum? I mean, look, E.T. was not visually all that aesthetically beautiful. He did kind of look like a scrot sack, but it was a good movie. Also, what is so taboo that you can't... Oh, was it because his finger lit up and it was somewhat phallic? Come on, tell me the reason it's bad. You can tell me. It's safe with me.
Well, why can't you say it on television?
Because it was quoted to me by the co-writer of E.T.
Oh, well, what is... I mean, can you, in a roundabout way, say something? I mean, what is it sexual innuendo, or what are you talking about here?
Yes, he talked about weaving in visual subliminals into the movie itself.
Well, I do know I like Reese's Pieces now, but that's more because M&M's refused to give, E.T. or the film directors rights to use M&M's, so they went with Reese's Pieces instead, and M&M's lost, just a perfect product placement opportunity. But, sir, subliminal messages, you are a liminal message for birth control.
Masters of the Universe, Smurfs, E.T. Do you have those kind of toys?
Masters of the Universe. Yeah.
What about that son of a bitch, Teddy Ruxpin? Do you have that, asshole? What about those jerks, the Garbage Pail Kids? Satan, I tell you.
Are you afraid that Masters of the Universe is going to have bad effects on your children?
I don't know. I'm not crazy about it.
Then why did you buy it for your children?
Because they want it. I don't know.
The word Beelzebub has been used numerous times on the shows The Smurfs, and in one...
Not Beelzebub with the Smurfs. I mean, I was more weirded out about Gargamel and Papa, well, Smurfette being the only chicken in Smurf Village and how the repopulation was going to go. Of all the things that might be a little bit morally questionable, you might ask why the Smurfs only have one chick. But no, it's the use of Beelzebub, not the one chick hanging out with a bunch of dudes in a sausage fest. I mean, it looks like an OnlyFans recording now. I mean, maybe Smurfs was trying to tell us something about the future.
Show Gargamel drew a pentagram, a 5-pointed occultic star, lit candles at each point, which is an actual witchcraft practice, danced inside the pentagram, chanting a magical spell, at which point a book opened up across...
Your teeth are proof of either veneers or witchcraft. Which would you like to confess to, sir?
The room, a spiritual entity left the book, entered his physical body, giving him power to levitate and do battle against the Smurfs.
You're soaking this all in, and I'm trying to understand it myself. How do you feel about this?
I really can't tell you. I really don't know.
This guy's look like, my wife dragged me to this. This is a bunch of horse shit. I'd rather be at the diner with Earl. Well, now this lovely and charming gentleman is going to sell us the waterbed of our dreams. God bless public access advertising. Where else are you going to get an 800-pound king-size waterbed oak frame?
All I want to do is save you... Okay, 1 second. Remember, all I want to do is save you money. Is this the way you want it? Yes. Cheese. 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 Gonna make me a little shorter?
Decorators Gallery, and I'm having a super sale. Buy one and get one free. Buy this $389 velvet...
Ma'am, I don't trust you to run a gallery if both of your eyes aren't on the same level playing field. I don't... Although you were able to get the eyeliner to match even if you couldn't open the other eye, so good on ya. Maybe I will go get a waterbed.
Swivel rocker and get a second one free. Buy this Schweiger decorator sofa and get this $399 action recliner free. Buy a set of sheets and get the second one free. And Bargain Bernie says, at Decorators Gallery between Walsham and Eisenhower on I-35 Access Road across from Windsor Park Mall.
Okay. Wait a minute, we weren't ready to open. You caught me with my pants down, but no one sells carpet or waterbeds for less, and to prove it, you can put it on layaway for just $10. Let me see that one.
Yeah, we need to see the pantsless one.
I'm looking for
Spielberg. And to round out our day and to always end with the funniest musical renditions of our favorite movie. For some reason, I'm on an Arnold kick because I love the way that this particular AI does the Arnold voice. But let's get into it. Total Recall, the musical from John and AI.
I want to do something with my life. I want to be somebody. Here I am, same routine, hairy from work, beautiful wife. I know they mean well, but sometimes I feel like I'm crushed by this boring, repetitive life.
I don't know why, but the break where he's like, lie, it gets me every time. I giggle like a schoolgirl, even if I am in Walmart.
Every night I go dreaming, and the skies are red on another planet. Then I wake up, I'm in bed, but the brunette on the mountain, I can still see her face. It's as if she's a memory that's been long since erased.
I don't know. The only reason this movie was infamous when I was in middle school was the three boob chick. That was legendary to all of the middle school boys in my class. I don't know if they built a shrine to the three boob chick, but that was definitely the biggest selling point. I don't know if they actually learned about the plot beyond that until maybe last year.
Yes, I'd leave them behind and aim for the farthest star. I'll find out who I am by climbing the mountains of Mars. But instead I watch the news, and it looks so exciting. The rebellion on Mars, all the shooting and fighting. I try to be a good sport.
Well, at least this Kim Basinger being a nice wife to someone. Her and Alec Baldwin, the wreck that was. You know, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard before it was a thing.
And I try to be patient, but that company recall with the phony vacations. I'd fork over the fee and aim for the farthest star. I'll find out who I am when I'm climbing the mountains of Mars. So a trip to the planet where turbinium flows, the mysterious woman and the secret she knows. A family man, God, what a bore, but I'm hoping that something's in store. I have to find out what I'm for, 'cause I know that I'm meant to be more like a Superman fighting.
There's a maid that I want to adore, but Skeletor is not a whore. I mean, Maria Shriver. Wait, art imitates life. Look, Arnold the Musical will be coming out soon.
A war on Mars. Yes, I'd leave them behind and aim for the farthest star. I'll find out who I am by climbing the mountains of Mars.
Okay. That one wasn't as great as this one. So funny, but not as good as this one. So we can't end on that one. We have to end on my favorite one, which is The Running Man versus Hunger Games. You will find yourself singing this, I assure you, or at least I do.
A reality show in the wake of a war. All these children are trying to kill her. Why do I feel like I've seen this before?
Note, warning, there are cursey words in this, so if you have little children, why are you letting them watch me? But, it's a day off, but do put your earbuds in if you're in work. There are cursey words in this video, so I don't want you to get in trouble.
Premise, it seems so familiar. A violent game from the future, what could it be?
What could
Now
it
I remember a movie featuring me. So fuck you, the Hunger Games. I'm afraid I have a bubble to burn.
Y'all, the amount of times I've just wanted to break out, fuck you, Hunger Games, since watching this video on a loop is inappropriate and has me up for a Guinness World Record.
Same film, they changed the name, but you know the running main was the first. They cook up a program to use as distraction, glitz and glamour in a stupid parade. The people are starving, so
Parade.
give them some action. Can't they see it's all a giant charade? It's a trick to keep the public in line, but the concept has always been mine. So fuck you, the Hunger Games. All the evidence is there on the screen. Two films that seem the same, but one's a shitty version for tweens. In the Hunger Games, the camera makes you throw up, and you can't even tell who is dead. In the
True, but that's because it was PG-13 and, you know, loosely based on a children's book that probably didn't want to show decapitations with funny catchphrases, which I think they really missed out on the market of teen nihilism, but there you go.
All of the action is clear. Take a look at how we blow up the head. Does Katniss look great in a tight yellow suit, or tell jokes when she cuts you in two?
No,
Can she punch through your stomach and break your damn spine when the story you tell is untrue?
Fuck you, the Hunger Games, and your carbon-phobic fascist regime. Your film is far too tame. We were first and we were far more extreme.
It's important to remember our roots. I'm not doing this to bring down morale. I acknowledge the most dangerous game, and I'm tolerant of battle royale. But fuck you, the Hunger Games. Who wants to watch us sit in a tree? Mine's great, the remake's lame.
Okay, those dancers doing the MC Hammer time dance, you know, in heels and a unitard and leggings, my hat off to you.
Fucking boring can that blockbuster be? Why must you rip off everything that we do? First we killed Lachlan, and then you killed Rue. You showed great disrespect, not to give me a nod. So I hope that you win, like Whitman, Price, and Haddad. I spit on your movie, this despicable clone, with our sea catching fire for Jenna Malone.
Fuck you, the Hunger Games.
Not the whole chorus.
Fuck you!
Fuck you, the Hunger Games. Fuck you.
Fuck you, the Hunger Games.
Fuck you, the Hunger Games.
Fuck you, the Hunger Games. And fuck you too.
I love this. This timeline is great. I mean, you know, we might have a guy in Africa who's running with the name of a infamous Austrian painter. You know, Guy Fieri's quads might have exploded, but the internet did create those things. So, you know, all in all, it swings and roundabouts. I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. If I don't do Mornings with Mo, it will really depend on how much side dish we making the girls and I get done today, and the boys who have offered their help. in the kitchen. So it will really, really depend on that. Hopefully I will be here because the headlines never stop. But I do wish you guys all a great Thanksgiving. I may be doing a stream or two tomorrow, depending on how much of a food coma I'm in. But if I don't see you tomorrow, have a wonderful day. And, you know, there are going to be streamers if your family are the type that you need to have earbuds in to survive. Remember, there's a fine line between drunk enough to handle your family and honest. So always stay on that, you know, lesser side, because I don't want to have to write about your current snapped episode or, you know, that kind of thing. So have a wonderful day. Remember, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, but have a sassy mouth and carry a can of bitch fire, because kindness doesn't equal doormat. And I will see you again really, really soon. Bye, you guys.